All right, we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the live stream. This is Black Box Trading. I'm your host, JT, and we got to talk about the market. Bitcoin is dumping. Bitcoin has fallen out of its price channel. It's fallen out of its bull flag. Bull flag is no longer what we're going to be looking at it as. So what's the deal? Are we done falling? Are we going to head up to higher levels from here? Well, there's an interesting market indicator that I'm going to share with you guys that you might have already heard about. It's been floating around Twitter. Follow us on Twitter, by the way, if you want access to some of that alpha, but also join the free community right here. This QR code, scan the QR code and get into the Discord where we're sharing a lot of alpha, including today's signal where we are already up on our investment. Anyways, let's get into the TA. Let's take a look at the nitty gritty here and see what we can see here. So first, let's get the macro signal out of the way. Then we'll get into the nitty gritty. We'll get into the small time frames, and we'll talk about our entry, our bullish entry with our secret indicator that we're going to share with you guys that showed us a beautiful buy signal that we shared in the private group. But this is the hash ribbons. So this little area down here where you're seeing all these blue dots, this is a very interesting technical indicator. If you're unfamiliar with this indicator and how it works, basically it's almost a fundamental indicator, which I like those types of indicators. This is why on-chain analysis can be sometimes helpful when trying to gather kind of the macro picture of what's going on in the markets. The hash ribbon is measuring miner capitulation and then the point at which miners turn their machines back on. So yes, we're looking at it from a TA point of view. Yes, we're looking at it on TradingView, but this is very much so a fundamental indicator. And why it's important is the people who are closest to understanding the ebbs and flows of the market, it's unequivocally the miners. The miners are the most plugged in. They are the most reflexive. They are the most dialed in people when it comes to understanding the profitability trends of Bitcoin because their entire business depends on it. They're going to shut their machines off temporarily when the competition gets too high and they're not able to compete, or the profitability is not high enough. Bitcoin hasn't kept up with a certain pace of price expansion, so they save money on electricity costs by shutting their machines off. So let's blow this up just a little bit here, and let's take a look at a couple of these, what this represents. So basically, let's zoom right in here so I give you guys a good understanding. This gray line, so ignore the red and green line for just a moment. Let's just take a look at this gray line. This gray line represents the break-even price of Bitcoin, Bitcoin mining. So it represents the price at which the electricity costs to produce the Bitcoin are equal to the price of actually buying the Bitcoin. So when this green line is above the gray line, it's cheaper to mine Bitcoin than it is to buy Bitcoin. So that means you're a profitable miner. When the line goes below the gray line, when the green line turns red here and goes below it, I hope you guys can see that really easily and clearly. This means that mining Bitcoin is more expensive than buying Bitcoin. So it's no longer profitable for miners to mine Bitcoin. Now, we go through this ebb and flow quite a lot. The miners are always doing this. And if you are kind of a hobbyist miner, maybe you would be a little bit more willing to shut your machines off. There are plenty of mining companies that will mine for periods of time at a loss. But regardless, it's a very interesting indicator because it'll show you the point at which the mining becomes profitable again. And usually these periods of decline, you'll often see more supply hitting the market. And because miners are mining, I think 450 Bitcoin a day, don't quote me on that. I actually didn't check the numbers for mining, how many Bitcoin are done per day, how many Bitcoin are mined per day. But if the miners are running at a loss, typically, generally speaking, they have to pay for electricity. So they're going to sell some of their Bitcoin in order to offset the cost of the electricity required to produce the coins. So these red areas can signal to the market that more supply is hitting the market. When this red signal turns back to green, it indicates that the miners are full steam ahead. They're going to stack their coins. There's less supply hitting the market. So you can see these dots up here. These dots represent the point at which miners capitulate. That's the point at which profitability falls below the break-even cost of production. And then it shows the point at which it crosses back up and becomes profitable. And that is considered a buy signal. Now, these are great. These are great buy signals. We'll actually zoom out here and just take a look at, let's turn on the log chart. And let's just take a look. Let's turn volume off for just a moment. We'll get into the nitty gritty. Don't worry. We'll get into the traditional TA. But you can see how often this signal is correct. So here's the last buy signal. And from that buy signal, Bitcoin rallied. We'll go from the top to be fair. I mean, it rallied 60%, or you can go from the local high, 90%. But we did get some minor capitulation over there. So let's just say that that signal is worth a 50% move. Back here, you can see that it rallied 160%. Over here, you can see that that buy signal rallied about 40%. It's right a lot. It's right way more often than it is wrong. It's very rare that these signals are wrong. Here, it rallied 50%. Here, it rallied 220%. They're super, super accurate, very valuable macro signals to the market that we're ready for some interesting moves ahead. Now, here is the really interesting thing. This is the part that gets me super excited. And I know that we're having a red day. I know that everybody's kind of bearish and a lot of people are scared and they might have even sold today. It's just probably people watching this stream who have sold some Bitcoin out of fear that we're going to head to lower levels. But I'm telling you that this what we're looking at right here, we have 3 signals in a row where we haven't had a breakout. 3 signals in a row, okay? Keep that in mind. 3 signals in a row without a breakout. Here's the last time we had 3 signals in a row without a breakout. 1, 2, 3. It kicked off the macro bull market. For the cycle, it kicked off the acceleration phase of the entire cycle. 3 signals in a row, no breakout. By the 3rd signal, it kicked off the entirety of phase 2 of the market cycle. Okay, well, let's go back here. This one, it's a little bit more stretched out. It's a little bit more stretched out, but you got 1, 2, 3. By the 3rd signal, it kicked off the entirety of the bull market. This one's debatable. So I will concede if there are those who are willing to debate that this one doesn't count because of the distance between these 2 signals. But the reality remains the same. It's 3 signals in a row without a breakout. 1, no breakout. 2, no breakout. Little bit of an uptrending phase 1 environment. But then the 3rd one is when we go full bore into the phase 2 of the bull market, the most exciting phase of the bull market. Then back here, this is early Bitcoin. So this is not new. This has been around for a while. But you have 1, no breakout. 2, no breakout. 3 finally breaks out, kicks off the epic bull run. Don't expect this, ladies and gentlemen. It's not going to happen. But like this was a 10,000% move. So don't expect that. That's not going to happen. But regardless, these signals are fundamental signals that make their way into the TA world, this technical world. And these 3 signals in a row, boom, what are we looking at? If this breaks out in any meaningful way, it's looking like that is going to be the kickoff. That is going to be the trigger. That is going to be the move that sends us into phase 2 of the bull market. Finally, the real breakout, the move that gets us from 120 to 150 to 160 to 200, 300, 400, $500,000 a coin. And everybody's just in their seat at their desk, just being like, whoa, what the hell is happening? What is going on in the market right now? So that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking for hash ribbons. So that's kind of the secret signal that you may have seen floating around on Twitter. A couple people were making note of it. I think it's a very noteworthy thing to pay attention to. So that's Bitcoin on the weekly. Let's get into the signal that we had flash. So it's no longer showing. It's no longer showing on this chart, but anyways, we'll actually show you in the Discord. We put out the move today. I was like waking up in bed and I'm like, guys, we have a green diamond here on the, I shared a phone chart. I'm like, oh shit, we got a green diamond here at 114. These are really powerful signals. These green diamonds have appeared in the past. Let's go to the 4 hour. And they've been rock star signals. Green diamond, boom. Green diamond, boom. Now you can see that they don't necessarily call a bottom because we got a green one below another green one here, but they represent massive rallies. They represent massive recoveries. This one did a 10% move from tip to tip. This one was a lot more impressive, and it actually resulted in a breakout that gave us a 25% move from tip to tip. But they're great signals. We ignore them when the wave is red. If you guys are interested to learn more about this indicator, it's Alpha Numerics. It's a private indicator. We can give you a discount code in the private group. So if you guys are wanting access to that, where's the QR code? Definitely go into the Discord. Where is it? Oh, no, that's not what I want. Right there. Scan the QR code, get into the free trading Discord where we share all of our trades, our entries, exits, take profits, all of that stuff. Get the free Bitcoin trading bot, free educational materials, all of that 100% free. All that we ask is that you work with one of our partnered exchanges. This stream is brought to you by BitGet. That's the only catch. So if you're gonna trade somewhere, just trade with our partners. That's it. Anyways, we ignore them in the red wave, so you can see all of these ones that we ignored. We ignore. It's only when the wave turns green that you start to listen to these. And it's not showing now. It's not showing now, which is, to me, just showing how bullish the market is. The market is willing to buy those dips ahead of it. But we had that green diamond in the green wave, as you can see right here. And that was the buy signal. So we told you to buy. I said I was in bed. Sorry for the phone chart, but this is a great entry. Members were notified. Then I was just like, nah, I got to get in. I got to get in. So I added to the position here. We're now 3 Bitcoin long, $345,000 long on Bitcoin here. Stop loss got moved into a profitable stop loss where we're not walking away from this trade with anything less than $10,000 profit. This entire trade was fed to you step by step for free, so definitely go check out the Discord. And then it was correlated with what we were seeing here on the S&P. So let's actually jump over to the S&P really quick before I dive any further into Bitcoin. But this is what we're looking at on the S&P. Earnings just came out yesterday. We had all the earnings call, and it's buy the rumor, sell the news, right? So the news, even though all the earnings were great, nobody really had anything negative to say about earnings. It's a sell the news event. So we're seeing that sell the news. We're seeing the negative sentiment. And we have this massive fair value gap that we need to fill here. So, I anticipate that this day will close out as a recovery. You'll probably see the continued rally in the after hours for the S&P 500 and the rest of the market, the individual stocks that make up the S&P. And then probably tomorrow we will go for an attempt to fill this gap, fill this fair value gap here. Something like this, or maybe like this. This for the bears, this for the bulls to fill that fair value gap. And that could also just be the bottom too. The stock market's actually doing quite well. We're sitting here, down here. We were holding the 7 simple moving average here on the Alpha Numerics indicator. We like the 7 on the daily because it represents the weekly average price. We've been holding above the weekly average price. We've now dipped below and holding the monthly average price as support. this is where we can anticipate a bounce. I think that there will be a bounce. I am on high alert with Bitcoin though. Okay, so all that to say, everything bullish that I'm talking about, us adding to the positions, us being long and strong on Bitcoin here, I am on a high alert for lower high. I'm on lower high search right now. So we can't deny the fact that as it stands, we have a high, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and now a lower low. Yes, we're seeing volumes come in. Yes, we're seeing demand in the market. We can see that every time we go for these lows, the volume spikes considerably, showing that that there is demand, there is volume coming back up. But what I'm going to be on high alert for is a bearish test of the underside of this channel right here. If we come up and lose momentum around this area with a high volume signature, if we see any volume that's kind of, you know, similar to any of these volume signatures right here, that's going to indicate to me that the bears are in control. This will likely roll over. We will close out those positions in some considerable profit, and we will wait for the market to give us the next signal, the next read on the directional bias of where we are heading in this market. But as it stands right now, we've definitely scalped the negative sentiment, and we're positioned for the next move up. But it's looking good. It's looking good. Nice little demand tails. The 4 hours just trying to reclaim that 7. Massive divergence between the 30 and the 50. So, you know, for the MACD traders out there, MACD is moving average convergence and divergence. Anytime the moving averages diverge considerably, you start to get that converge. The converge is what we're looking for next. That's the rally up to the underside of this channel right here. So looking good, looking good. Let's catch up with the chat, see what everybody's thinking. Anybody out there? My God, nobody's talking in the chat. We've got 34 people watching across all platforms. If you want us to take a look at any individual coins, leave them in the chat. Spam your tickers. Let me know what you guys think. Is this it? Are you guys actually bullish on this consolidation still? Are we looking at this in any way as a bullish thing? Or is this, like, let's zoom it out here. Let's look at this. We were looking at this as a bull flag. Is this a failed bull flag? Is this the first signal of us falling out of this bull flag and boom, that's the signal? You got to listen to it. If there is a little bit of a recovery, great, but this will roll over to lower levels. What do you guys think? I want to hear from you. Now, some of the headwinds that we're facing here is the DXY. The DXY was rallying quite a bit on the daily. It's since corrected, but this, you know, we've had this formation. Let's take a look. Let's grab our pen here. We had a low, lower high, low, low, lower high, first higher low, first higher high. So we do have to be aware that, you know, this may form some sort of a channel. And if we form a channel in here, yes, there will be good trading days, but the overall headwinds of the market are probably going to put us into some sort of a downtrend. That hasn't happened yet, but it is certainly something to be considerate. It is something to consider as a possibility as it stands right now, because we do have that minor structure here where we have the lows, the downtrend transitioning into a potential uptrend. Now, it hasn't taken out this high just yet, and we'll see if this low holds as support. But yeah, definitely food for thought, something to be aware of. Let's take a look at Bitcoin dominance, see how we're doing in the altcoin space. Oh, speaking of altcoins, we got to give you guys an update on the altcoin portfolio. Not surprisingly, it's not doing too great. Not doing too great. We did take a $5,000 portfolio. Both Matt and I constructed our own $5,000 altcoin portfolios. More to come on that later. We are going to open up a competition so that you guys can see if you can create the best performing altcoin portfolio over the next 3 months, because I still think that we're in altcoin season. I have recently transitioned to that stance. For the last 2 years, I've been screaming, it's not altcoin season, it's not altcoin season, it's not altcoin season. And now finally, we're looking at a potential rotation. We're looking at a potential altcoin season. I know it doesn't feel like it today. Certainly today, it does not feel like it, but I'm telling you, I've been trading this market for a while, and I'm quite confident that there is a little bit of a rotation taking place. Regardless, There will be more info on that sent to the Discord and here on the channel. So stay tuned and subscribe for that. Yeah, we're down. I'm down. Matt's down. This is the high risk portfolio. We have a portfolio consisting of HBAR, Sonic, Solana, Kaspa, and Pengu. Since creation of this portfolio, total portfolio is lost $371. Oh no! And Matt is faring a little bit better because he went for a more conservative portfolio. He's down $263. But yeah, both not surprising to see those altcoins down, especially considering that we are bouncing on altcoins here. Let's go to the 3-day. 3-day good. 3-day or weekly? What do we do? Let's take a look at the weekly. Yeah, we're kind of bouncing off the lower end of this channel here. Now, I think that there's going to be a roll-off. There's going to be a rollover that takes place here. We'll probably rally up to this level. Maybe we might get trapped under the 30 here. We're bouncing off of the 50. We lost the 7, crashed right through the 30, bouncing off of the 50. So I think the 30 will probably be our resistance point, which is somewhere around the middle of this trading range right here before you start to see that real rotation into altcoins. That's fine. The market's spooked. Bitcoin's going to continue to rally. That rally is going to increase confidence in the market. Once you get that confidence coming into the market, that will rotate into alts. So we will see how things play out there. But yeah, it's looking good. Looking good. Still no chance. You guys are just at a loss for words at this point. Everybody's screaming lower levels, and there's just some bulltard on YouTube telling you that everything's all peachy and nobody knows what to say. Let's take a look at some of the altcoins. Take a look at some of the individual ones from our portfolios. Let's go through these one at a time. Starting off with Total 3. Taking a look at Total 3, this is the total cryptocurrency market cap excluding Bitcoin and excluding Ethereum. So it's every other altcoin combined that isn't Bitcoin, that isn't Ethereum. And when we take a look at this on the weekly, you know, we're still waiting for that all-time high break. We're still waiting for that breakout. A little bit of a retest here. There's good support in this general range. Let's go down to the daily, show you that support. We got support here. You know, this was an area, this was right here. The preliminary supply line is hit here. We've got resistance, we got support, we got resistance, support. That's actually exactly where we're sitting right now. So we could totally get a bounce right here. So even if Bitcoin rallies and Bitcoin dominance continues to climb, we could still see a little bit of a bounce in fiat terms on the altcoins. It won't be as powerful as a potential Bitcoin move, but we could still see a gain in the altcoins from a fiat point of view. Bitcoin dominance is measuring that relationship between altcoins and Bitcoin. Total is measuring that relationship with altcoins and the dollar. So that's why you could see a divergence there. So not bad, looking good, looking good. Let's take a look at some of Matt's picks. Doge lost the critical level of support here. We do need to get back above this level for us to really have that move up. It needs to hold 25 cents. Doge needs to stay above 25 cents. Once Doge gets above 25 cents, that's when things can really begin to heat up. But looking at this local range, we have a low, a higher low, or a high, a higher low, and a higher high. So you do have that uptrend that is supporting us, getting us out of this range right here. Take a look at XRP. XRP has been doing really, really good. I'll be fully transparent with you guys. I am not a fan of this coin, but I am a fan of profits. And this is certainly given profits. This is looking really good. Kind of a big move out, came out of nowhere. Very typical XRP fashion. XRP just goes. And it just goes really fast and reprices, and the market doesn't know what to do with it, and the traders can't really get involved. So it's usually the hodlers that do best with XRP. And then we formed this bull flag, and boom, we're breaking out of this bull flag. So it's looking good from a technical point of view as it stands right now. This is pretty standard issue bull flag here. bull pennant, bull flag, whatever you want to call it, however you want to draw it. It's a break. One stupid line. We got a break. And that break also here on the weekly, this is a phantom candle. This is a purple phantom candle. These are really, really good signals to the market that we are indeed in for a little bit of a ride here. The last purple phantom signal to come in got a little, still during accumulation, but it did ultimately resolve itself in a big pop, big 60% move just on that one candle alone. We'll probably get a 60% move from here. What does that look like? What's a 60% move from here? $60 move, get you to $5. We'll see $5 in no time. It's currently at 3, probably get to 5. All right, let's take a look at Chainlink. Chainlink getting a rejection. Structure nowhere near as good as some of the other ones that we were looking at. This one's certainly a laggard. So the market, what this tells me is the market just doesn't have an appetite for Chainlink. It's not the asset that it was last cycle. Man, Chainlink had a lot of FOMO. Chainlink had a lot of really good bullish follow through last cycle. There's not much of a DeFi narrative this cycle. There really isn't. So because of the lack of the DeFi narrative, there's a lack of an Oracle narrative. I do think that Chainlink will do well, but it's certainly not showing the market demand that we've seen in prior years, that's for sure. Take a look at SUI. SUI is a completely different beast. SUI has beautiful, beautiful structure. It's just, low, high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low, lower, high. But now we have this local range where we've got higher highs and higher lows again. So SUI's looking good. I think SUI's going to be one of the bigger winners this cycle. Matt wanted to take SUI following the advice from Crypto, and I think it's a good play. I would be taking SUI too, but we wanted to kind of go against each other, battle with our different portfolios. So he got SUI and I took Sonic, and I think SUI is a good play on his part. It's looking really good. Ethereum waking up, man. Ethereum woke up big time, and it's up near all-time highs. It is kind of in this zone, this death zone, I guess, where it's tried to get above this several times, unable to do so. Once you clear that $4,000 level, we're going to get above this resistance of 45. The ultimate, basically, as soon as we hit 5K, it's not going to have any resistance whatsoever. And I would not be surprised in the slightest to see Ethereum at 10K. People are calling for 10K Ethereum as though it's hard to achieve. 10K Ethereum is not hard to achieve. We might see a 20K Ethereum this cycle, no joke. Like we'll see some silliness come into the market, and it's going to happen really, really quick. A lot of people just have forgotten what altcoin season is like. We haven't seen altcoin season in so long that people have forgotten how crazy altcoin season is. Guys, we're at $3,600. In a normal altcoin season, you can 10x. So, we're looking at $36,000 ETH as like a crazy altcoin season. And people are like, oh, I don't think 10K can happen. Guys, my guy, 10K is easy. That's child's play. We're talking 20K, 25K. For Ethereum. All right, let's take a look at Pengu. I needed a meme coin in the portfolio. Somebody was asking, do I think this is going to go down further? Honestly, I don't know, and I don't care. With a meme coin, the best way to trade a meme coin, like, honestly, we're looking at a chart here. We're trying to do TA on a meme coin. It's retarded. Like, don't do that. I'm going to show you guys, like, hey, here's the chart, but there's no strategy here. The trade is very simple. In 3 months, do I think Pengu will be at a higher price? And the answer to that question is yes. For me, that's the trade. I think Pengu is going to be at a higher price in 3 months. I don't know how we get there. I don't know the ebbs and flows of what it takes to get there. I don't care about retracements. I don't look at support levels. I don't look at resistance levels. It's all pointless because we're talking about a stupid meme coin. just how much are you willing to put into a trade with the parameters of knowing that you're really not even going to look at a chart. You're just going to ask yourself, well, do I think it's going to be at a higher price in 3 months? What does that trade look like to you? Because that's what it is for me with Pengu here. So I'm not really going to waste everybody's time with TA on this, because TA on a meme coin is just stupid. Sonic, however, we got, hello, can we take a look at Sonic from Mauricio? Yes, sir, we will take a look at Sonic. This one, it doesn't have any market attention. There's no market demand as it stands right now. It's got a lot of work to do before people get hyped up on it. But honestly, this is kind of what I like. I am much more the type of trader that does these kind of midterm holds where I buy before there's any hype. So the fact that we're sideways here at new lows, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I like sideways at new lows. That is fine. Okay. When people are like, oh, people are buying these big fuck you green candles. Pardon my French, ladies and gentlemen. I got to clean up my act. The algorithms don't like it when I swear. So do people, but I got a mouth like a trucker. Apologies for that. They buy these big green candles. And it's like, no, don't buy these green candles. Wait till the hype is gone. Wait till the asset is dead. Wait till nobody is talking about it. And then once that occurs, you can take a position. So I'm actually very happy with the position that I've taken here in Sonic. It's not doing anything for my portfolio whatsoever. It's done nothing except probably fall. Sonic, no, Pengu's fallen more, but it doesn't represent a very large share of this $5,000 portfolio. But I like the position because it's not a hyped position. Nobody's really talking about it. And the Sonic crowd is a very fundamental crowd. Listen, when retail comes into this market, they're not going to buy meme coins. They're just not. I can guarantee you phase 2 of the bull market is a lot more fundamental. Why? Why is that the case? It's more fundamental because the new people coming in, they don't understand crypto culture. They don't understand this game of musical chairs. They're actually looking at this as like, these are supposed to be smart investments. And they come in thinking like, okay, I'm a smart investor. Where's the value in this market? So they really latch on to fundamental narratives. And when you throw buzzwords at them like high throughput blockchains, fast, easily settled smart contracts, DeFi, yields, like all of these fundamentally logical things, they latch onto that a lot more. I'm not saying that the memes aren't going to rally, but they're going to rally because of the people that are already here. They're going to rally because the degens and the crypto native people are already here, and they're going to start playing musical chairs again. The new cohort of individuals coming in, they're going to look for the things that make sense. And so you got to pick these fundamental plays. If you're going to have some degen plays, that's fine, but mix it up with some really strong fundamental narratives, because those fundamental narratives are what's going to drive the new users into these coins. And Sonic fits the bill. Another one that fits that bill is Caspa. I mean, this community is strong. They know their shit. They know their narratives. They're really pushing the fact that Bitcoin can't scale. And believe you me, with Bitcoin going into a bull market, a phase 2 environment bull market, where there will be a lot of stress thrown at the Bitcoin network. Again, you're going to see $10, $20, $30 transaction fees for Bitcoin. So it'll be a very clear narrative, easily digestible for new people coming in, because the Caspa community will be going, see, look, Bitcoin's $20 a transaction. That doesn't scale when somebody in Africa's entire monthly wage is the cost of a Bitcoin transaction. So that's a very easily digestible narrative. So they will be like, oh yeah, it looks like this Bitcoin isn't going to work. I'm going to invest in Caspa. I'm going to invest in Litecoin. I'm going to invest in Bitcoin Cash. I'm going to invest in Sonic. I'm going to invest in anything else that isn't Bitcoin. So having this mix of that fundamental kind of narrative, those hype narrative plays, is really important. So yeah, H-bar, another one. It's one of those narratives. One of those narratives where it's a fundamental play. This looks really good, actually. Like, considering what we've seen in this market environment, we're still in a bull flag here. We are still in a bull flag. So that's pretty good considering what we've seen over this most recent move. That's it for H bar. That's showing a lot of strength. There's a lot of demand for H bar. Let's take a look at the volume. Yeah, we got high volume here. H bar actually looks ready to go. Out of all the coins that we've looked at so far as like a technical setup, H bar looks really healthy. H bar looks really healthy. All right, and then this is one that I recommend that everybody have in their portfolio. Not Solana, but a layer one smart contract platform. I have chosen Solana because of all the hype around Solana. There's Solana meme coins, there's Solana DeFi, there's Solana yield, there's Solana payment processors. There's a whole ton of like Solana ecosystem stuff. And for anybody to invest in any of those degen plays or any of those high risk, low market cap plays, what do they need to do first? They need to buy Solana. So in order for them to dabble at all in DeFi, they got to buy Solana first. In order for them to buy an NFT, they got to buy Solana first. So this applies to other blockchains as well. You can do the exact same thing with Ethereum. If they want to be in the Ethereum ecosystem, they have to buy ETH first. You can do this with Cardano. You can do this with any smart contract layer one platform. So have one smart contract layer one platform in your portfolio. Because any of the narratives that are built inside of that ecosystem will directly go towards the appreciation of the asset. In this case, Solana. So Solana, kind of a messy consolidation. What is all this shit going on here? We got a call way back. That call is still valid. 50% up since that call in the private group. Definitely join the private group if you guys haven't already done so. Check it out. Go to, you can also go to blackbox.pro, BLKBöX.pro, click the join community tab, or you just click this QR. Why do we have Mauricio still up on the chat there? Let's get you off. Didn't mean for that to stay there. I guess I thought it just went away automatically. NFTs are big with Sonic, so there you go. That leans into the Sonic play. Sonic's kind of a layer one. All right, let's see what we got here. Both ordinals and crypto gaming tokens are getting destroyed. Which one would you pick if you had to for the bull run? For me, I think crypto gaming is not done, but it's certainly not going to do what it did last cycle. For me, it's all about the new cycle. New cycle, new coins. What is the new coin this cycle? Ordinals. Ordinals. It's programmability on Bitcoin. Smart contracts on Bitcoin. So for me, ordinals, it's no comparison. That's the pick for me. It's going to be ordinals. I don't care about gaming. Gaming was last cycle's narrative. I'm not saying it won't do well. You're going to see winners and losers in gaming. But across the board, my bet is on ordinals because they're new. And new often goes with new narratives and new cycle. It's a new cycle, new coins, new narratives, new protocols, new. All right, let's take a look at Solana here on the weekly, see if we can get a better read on it. I mean, it looks like shit. Let's be honest. It looks like shit. You got a little, you got nothing. We really got nothing here. Let's go to a longer chart. Let's go to Sol USD on Binance. Binance has more history. Yeah, it's got a lot of work to do, to be perfectly frank. We've got a resistance point that we need to overcome over here. It's got a lot of work to do. Got a lot of work to do. It's holding above the 7. It's holding above the 30. It needs to bounce here. It needs to reclaim this level. There is a little bit of a channel forming. So there's that. We have a little bit of a channel forming. But I've seen better. I've seen better. Yeah, it's not great. It's not the best structure that I've seen. So a lot of work to do. CRV is also a must. Yeah, CRV has been doing really good. Let's take a look at CRV. We'll take your requests now at this point, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't already spammed your ticker, please feel free to do so. CRV is a must, I think. Let's take a look. CRV. Yeah, CRV, man. Mauricio called this long time ago. Mauricio's in the private group. At least I think you're in the private group. You better be in the private group. If you're not, definitely get in the private group. But yeah, it's so clean, ladies and gentlemen. Like it's this to a T. It's a Wyckoff accumulation to a T. You definitely want to look into this one. You want to look into this one because this is from a textbook technical point of view. We have everything that we want to see here. The one thing that it's lacking is just a narrative. Really, that's all it needs. Like it has the textbook accumulation. Smart money has accumulated CRV. The composite operator is in control of CRV. The only thing that CRV is missing is a narrative. And I think as soon as Ethereum starts to perform, as soon as Ethereum breaks past all-time highs, you're going to see Ethereum do well. You're going to see Optimism do well. You're going to see, what's the other layer 2? Arbitrum do well. You're going to see all the trickle down effects into Ethereum DeFi, and CRV is going to be one of those plays that's definitely going to be a beneficiary of a DeFi narrative on Ethereum. So it's looking good. It's just missing that narrative, that digestible narrative. I haven't heard anything. You don't hear anybody talking about it. And guys, that's what I like. That's what I like. That's if you're looking to take positions in coins, do your analysis of where you think the potential narratives are highly likely to develop, which coins fit that narrative, which coins have been around long enough that you can see that there's demand, which coins are not dead, they're showing signs of life, and which coins are nobody talking about that fit all of those other criteria. If you can fit all of those other criteria and nobody's talking about that coin, you have found a valuable project. BNB also looks pretty good compared to most alts. BNB's got some manipulation in there, brother. BNB's got some of that manipulation action, which is cool. You know, that's fine. I don't care. But yeah, this is far and above. We're well above prior cycle highs. Well above prior cycle highs. This is a leading asset, 100%. This is 100% a leading asset. So yeah, this is good. BNB is going to do well. BNB is going to do well. Good call. Who said that? Mach Khan. Good call, man. Good call. I don't take a position in everything. You know, there's at this point there's literally 10 million coins. So, you know, you can't take a position in everything. But if you're a BNB fan, if you use the BNB exchange and you're following what's going on in the BNB community, it's looking good. Really, really strong outperformance when compared to pretty much everything else. I mean, it's better than ETH. It's better than Solana. It's better than damn near everything that isn't Bitcoin. Bitcoin's the only one that's really, really far above its prior cycle highs. A lot of alts haven't even broke. They're not even close to halfway from their prior cycle highs. BNB is well above. That's looking good. All right, Luxo, get Luxo, LYX. Let's take a look at LYX. LYX. I've seen better. So this is in stark contrast to BNB, right? So BNB is at prior cycle highs. It's at new all-time highs. This one is definitely taking a beat down. It doesn't have a lot of things to show for it. Now, the most recent move, this literal last week or two, it's showing a good outperformance, 33% up on the week, 6% the week prior, 12% the week prior to that. But, you know, it hasn't reclaimed any of the key levels here. You know, we got to get above this level right here. It's got a lot of work to do. It's got a lot of work to do. It's got to play a lot of catch up. Really, really low demand. Let's take a look at the volume. Volume's increasing. That's good. That's what you want to see. At least there's life here. There's a little bit of activity. But overall, this is in my opinion, there's better picks out there. If there's something you don't know, but if there's something you know about this coin that I don't, that's fine. I can't dive into the fundamentals of everything. If it meets the criteria of other things that we've talked about, then great. But this is not a picture of strength, that's for sure. So downtrend continues. Is the trend is your friend until it ends. So until this downtrend ends and you start to see that reversal take place, I wouldn't personally be taking any new positions in Luxo. All right, let's see how Biddy's doing. How's our Biddy doing? Big Biddy. Yeah, reclaiming all the moving averages. Crossing, bullish cross above the moving averages here on the 15. 4 hour. Needs a little bit of work. We got to reclaim the 7 on the 4 hour. So we've reclaimed all the moving averages on the 15. That's check mark number 1. We've reclaimed the 7 on the hourly. We need the 7 to cross back above the 30 on the hourly. If we can reclaim the 7, the 30, I don't think we're going to reclaim the 50 anytime soon, but if we can reclaim the 7 and the 30 over the coming hours, that would be fantastic. And that will correlate with us getting back on top of the 7 here for the 4 hour time frame. Once we reclaim the 7 on the 4, on the 7 moving average on the 4 hour time frame, that's a good setup that we nailed our entry. That's a good sign that we nailed the entry. All right. One more time, guys, if you guys haven't already done so, scan the QR code to get free access to the free trading signals chat. If you want free Bitcoin trading bots, we've got trading bots. If you want free educational materials, you don't know anything about trading anything. I mean, all these trading methods can be applied to any assets. They can be stocks, commodities, Forex. We obviously specialize in crypto, but we have educational material for you guys to peruse for free inside of the Discord, as well as our trading signals, our entries, exits, take profits, the altcoins that we're investing in, the new projects, the project mints. We have brought some really profitable mints to the community, most notably our best banger, which I'm not going to say that we're going to get that again, but Natcats was literally a 2500x for us. It was massive play for us. We're probably not going to do that again. So like, what am I talking about it for? We're not going to get another 2500x, but with these mints, we can definitely get you a couple 100x. I'm confident we will call at least a couple more 100x as the market continues and the degeneracy and the new coin bullshit starts to come through the markets again. But yeah, we got a lot of smart people in the group. We got everybody from traditional investors, portfolio managers, to just cold-blooded like degen in the trenches of new protocols, new technology, all of that really emergent tech stuff, that bleeding edge, real-time venture capitalism stuff is all available for you guys in the Discord. So definitely go and check that out. How are we doing for time? We're at the 50 mark. Let's see, what are we doing for the chat? What are we doing for the chat? Nobody else wanting to spam their tickers. So I think we're out of time. I think we're good. So definitely go and check things out. Scan the QR codes to get access to the Discord. Let me know in the comments section down below if you want to see any specific coins. We can take a look at them on the next stream. Subscribe, because we have more information coming with the trading competition. The trading competition only got easier for you guys because our portfolios are down. So you're already starting ahead of us. We have to play catch up. The number one portfolio wins $5,000. That's not a voucher. That's not a trading voucher. That is literally 5,000 Tether sent to a wallet of your choice. We can send it to your exchange. We can send it to cold storage. It's literally just 5,000 Tether sent directly to it. So more information coming with that. So turn on, subscribe, turn on bell notifications, and stay up to date with that. We'll probably have an announcement for that by the 4th. It's the 1st today, so in a couple days we'll have an announcement. Yeah, And that's it. That's all the time I have for today. If you guys enjoyed this content, please leave it a like. Don't forget to subscribe. And until next time, please trade safe. It is jungle out there. Peace.